Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com. Today I'm going to talk about how likely it is for cryptos to experience another big drop. And keep in mind, everything in this video is just my personal opinion and not financial advice. Over the past 24 hours, we have seen cryptos pull back a bit. This is likely due to the fact that we did get a bit of a run up and we're now pulling back from that. So we have some pretty important support levels on a lot of crypto charts. I'll be talking about that in more detail during our technical analysis. But basically, right now, it's very uncertain on where we're heading, right? You'll see a lot of symmetrical triangle formations on a lot of crypto charts, and that's an indecisive formation, meaning that it's not a bullish or bearish formation. It's really in between and could lead to either outcome, right? So I'm going to talk mainly about how likely it is I think that we're going to see another drop during our Bitcoin technical analysis. So that will just be in a minute or two. But like I said, over the past 24 hours, definitely a bit of a pullback here. Nothing too concerning just yet, but that's why we want to remain above those important support levels, because if we drop below those, that's when we're going to get another big drop. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. And let me know in the comments if you think we're going to see another big drop in the crypto market, or if you think we're going to be able to stabilize and move higher from here. So, as you know, we've gotten a little bit of a run up here. We went up to 6,500 on the Bitcoin chart, and we're now pulling back from there. Looks like we're going to be heading, maybe just a little bit lower, or coming right back down near our support level and our uptrend line. And that's really what we want to stay above, right? Because any move below those two things is probably going to push us down to our next support level, which is actually down to $5,000. So that's pretty much where our longer term uptrend line is, and that will be, the true critical level that we can absolutely not drop below, because that would just, be an absolute disaster for cryptocurrencies. So if we did drop there, we would want to see a very strong bounce, because it is, the major uptrend line for Bitcoin, right? And we're not even talking about altcoins here, we're talking about the market leader. So very important level. Hopefully, of course, we won't go there, but it is a possibility, and that's what I want to talk about, is what is the likelihood of that. So right now, there's two things to keep in mind. The market has been showing mixed signals. Sometimes we're looking strong, right? We get huge up days. Other times we're looking weak. We get huge down days. Overall, Bitcoin has been holding up. The one good thing I'd say right now is the indicators could be showing some bullish signs. Now, we got our first attempt at a crossover in the MACD that failed. That was pretty expected, like I mentioned. However, the second time around, we usually do get a bullish crossover, right? And that would make sense in this formation, meaning that, we're going to pull back a bit and then slowly start moving back up as we reach the end of the symmetrical triangle formation, which is early next month, and then get a breakout from there, right? That would be in line with, a second attempt at the MACD crossover, which would likely go through the second time around, right? Now, what you have to keep in mind is right now, due to the symmetrical triangle formation, and even though the MACD would have a better chance on the second crossover attempt, there are times where it takes, 3 crossover attempts to actually turn bullish. So it is still, I'd say, pretty 50-50 here if we're going to get that bigger drop, down to 5,000 Satoshis or not. And really, I'm really trying to think of any other things that could give us more detail on the likelihood of a bigger drop. But unfortunately here, it truly is 50-50. That's not maybe the answer that you wanted to hear, but that's what I think in my opinion. Now, there are a couple wild cards out there that you have to keep in mind, like the Bitcoin ETF's approval or rejections that we'll be seeing over the next 2 months, right? That's going to have a massive factor. Unfortunately, those are very unpredictable, and if anything, that could actually end up, we might get a couple rejections, especially at first. So that's something that could make the price flip lower again. And maybe, if you're looking at more like that, you would say 60% chance of a bigger drop lower, maybe even 70. If you're more based on technicals, you might be a little bit more bullish. It depends. That's why I think 50-50 is truly what we're seeing right now for, a bigger drop or, move higher. We're really 50-50 here. It could go either way. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ethereum chart. And right now, as you can see, Ethereum is dropping below $273. Next support level is all the way down to $220, and this is actually not a good sign at all. So our previous low recently was $250. And we'll see if we go back there, get some kind of stabilization. But I don't like this at all, actually, on the Ethereum chart. I don't like the fact that we're starting to dip below $273, and I think that this might mean that we're going to be heading down to $220. So if we see a lot of these altcoins that start to move lower, although Bitcoin is in a good position to hold up better, it can only hold up so much compared to the rest of the market if we're going to see a bigger drop here. So I think Ethereum might be heading down to $220 here. Not necessarily what we want to see, but there are a lot of signs pointing that, especially on the indicators now flipping back lower. I think that what we're going to be heading for up next is the end of this triangle right here. So that's in early November, early next month. We were basically, moving down into this lower range here instead of staying in this higher range. So that is unfortunate. I wish we could have stayed in this higher range, but I think we just were not ready for it as of right now. So early next month, $220 around there, end of the formation, is where I think we're heading next for the Ethereum chart. For Litecoin, also experiencing a drop lower. Like I said, for a lot of these altcoins that didn't actually come and test their next support levels, I think that we're in for a move there. So next stop would be $45 on the Litecoin chart. Probably going to get a lot of flattening out, something like that, I think, as we try to go for the end of the formation right here as well. Not a symmetrical triangle, but it is a triangle formation. Let's go ahead, take a look at the Nano chart, see what's going on. So Nano, definitely one of the weaker cryptos, did manage to get some new strength recently. However, it seems like we truly have peaked here in the short term. We tried to get above 2,700 Satoshis. It just didn't happen. We had multiple attempts at that. That makes me think that we're going to be heading back lower. Hopefully, we'll be able to stabilize, above 2,000 Satoshis. If not, then we're probably going to end up, testing that 10,000 Satoshi level. It's kind of been a long time coming. We could even go a little bit below that, but 20,000 Satoshis is the level that we want to try to stay above. If we're going to get a bit of a pullback here, any move below that would push us to 10,000 Satoshis or less, I believe. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Ripple chart now, see what's going on. So Ripple did get a really nice bounce yesterday, and we're going to see what's going on today. Taking a look at NEO, we can see that we weren't able to get back above $20. This is also one of the altcoins that didn't end up testing our $13 support level officially. So I think that that's where we're heading next to finally, kind of close that gap, similar to Litecoin. And you'll see there's a couple other altcoins that are in a very similar situation. For EOS, we are probably going to end up, moving lower into this range here, back closer to 7,000 Satoshis. What worries me for EOS is the end of our symmetrical triangle formation over here is, very far out, and actually, it keeps getting further out. But basically, right now there's not a very clear formation for EOS, which means that all we really know is that we're still downtrending, basically, right? And as long as that continues, we're going to continue to see a lot of pressure towards the price. I actually wouldn't be surprised to see a move down closer to 5,400 Satoshis here, especially with this bit of a double top, even, triple top, quadruple top on the indicator on the RSI. That is not a good sign and shows a pretty clear bearish trend, right, that we're not able to get back above that 40 mark on the RSI. Let's go ahead and take a look at Stellar Lumens, see what's going on. So moving over to the Binance chart, we can see that Stellar Lumens is still consolidating this range, flattening out on the indicator still. I think it'll be one of the altcoins to weather any storm better. However, that doesn't mean that it won't drop again. Maybe it'll drop down to our uptrend line. As long as we stay above our uptrend line, I think we're doing good, probably better than most altcoins out there. But it is always possible that we move below that, right? That would be quite bearish. For now, though, we're still holding up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next crypto, which is going to be Lisk. I wouldn't be surprised if Lisk is dropping lower here. Managing to, still be somewhat stable, but I'm just not sure we're going to manage to stay above our middle band. So I think that we could get a retest of, $2.50, maybe even move below that. We'll see. Overall, though, not the worst altcoin out there right now as far as the price action is concerned. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano, see what's going on. So we're going to take a look at the Bittrex chart. Cardano currently not looking strong, never actually tested its next support level at 1,254 Satoshis. I believe that's where we're heading next, especially with the double top on the RSI. let's go ahead, take a look at our last crypto of the daily crypto update, which is going to be IOTA. IOTA kind of holding up, indicators not too bad, but we never actually tested 33 cents, so this is like many other altcoins out there. I think we're heading to the next support level, 33 cents, to close that gap, and once and for all, kind of. With that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll see you next time.